Fans are too loud. No. It gets so hot in my house. I have that adjustable heat. I told my people, the landlords, I tried to tell them, look, just turn it off and let us turn it on when we need it. I got other heaters in the house and all like that, but this heat will this old fashioned thermostat heater thingy will get extremely hot if it gets cold outside. If it gets too cold outside, it will take a day or so to really get up to speed, and then it'll be too hot again. Like, let's say we have a cold week where we're staying within the 20s. Okay. It will take 24 hours to 2 days to get it up there. And then when it gets up there, oh my God, you feel like it's freaking, Africa. Um, but the flip of that problem is, which is a problem also, if it gets if it's nice outside, that heat will only go down to, let's say, making it feel like in here 75, 80 degrees. It won't go down to nice and cool in here. It'll go down. It will stay. That heat will stay like it's cold outside when it's really not that cold outside. But because the heater is on, it's only going to drop down to like 75, 80 degrees. It's going to feel like 75, 80 degrees inside the house. So then that's why I have fans. That's why I have, um, because it's never cool enough in here in the wintertime. And in the summertime, you can open up windows and it's still not that cool in here. Um, I had an air conditioner, but the windows that I have in this house are not geared to most air conditioners. Um, so I stopped using window air conditioners this summer. If I'm still here, I hope to be out of here this summer. But if I'm still here this summer, I plan to get me one of them indoor air conditioners that will cool the house from inside without the use of having to open windows and put an air conditioner in the window and all that. Welcome to uh, the cost of living. Welcome to living in cheap means. What I want to talk to you about, getting on with it. Somebody's already sending me hearts. Whoever you are, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, y'all can show up if you want. Say anything. Y'all can say anything if you come in here. If you want to just say hello, or if you just want to tell me how you have subscribed to my channel and you want to, but I'm not going to hold you long because I'm tired. But I was looking at some stuff at work today, and I was thinking about a book that I'm going to write. It's Christian fiction, if there is a such thing. I'm going to do a graphic novel before I die. Sometime before I die, I'm going to do this graphic novel. Christian fiction is going to be about everything from, um, being able to live in spaceships in another dimension, to bringing Christianity into that dimension, and people going to jail for fornication, as well as any other sex outside of the bonds between man and women. And it's going to be a very controversial graphic novel. And that's just one of them. That's the hard one. Everything else is easier once I get my classes out of the way. I got to take correspondence classes at home again. I'm pretty good, but I need a touch up. I need to refresh my lessons in that. Okay. Cheating. I'm not an expert at it because my ex-wife, well, I do believe she did cheat on me. And she cheated on me because of number 3, which I will mention in a minute. I do believe she cheated on me. I can't prove it. She totally denies it. But there were things that she did to make me feel stupid because I didn't know she cheated. And she didn't want to tell me that she cheated. But she did cheat on me the last time we were separated. And then, but she didn't try to hold on to me after she cheated like a lot of women do. She knew it was over because she knew this was the last time that I was coming home. She knew that if she didn't change to begin with, I wasn't coming home. And number 2, if I find out she's cheating, it's over. So she just ended it. And she did cheat on me. I do believe I do believe before we were even separated, somewhere in there, she cheated on me within one of them periods when we got back together. And then when we broke up and we were separated and fighting over custody of the kids and that, I believe she cheated on me with more than one man. I think she was going out to the bars and meeting men. And, I met some of the strangest alien monster boyfriends a woman could ever have. I mean, this woman, I feel bad for myself because she was just hooking up with any old running mill. Somebody made me look like I ain't nobody. I mean, this is my competition. This is what you gonna leave me for? But she didn't leave me for them. She's never got over me. Even to this day, I don't think she got over me, but she didn't leave me for them. She succumbed to them because she don't know how to get another me. And that's the way you men got to look at it. And that's the way I believe it really was. I'm not just looking at it that way. I really believe it is that way. I'm not trying to be arrogant. If any of my church people are watching, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just saying she cheated on me with men that would do maybe just A and B because she knew she would never get another me in that fashion that she's in that type of feminist attitude and demeanor that she's in. She'll never get another me. This is why she lost me. Okay. And I didn't leave her because I won't tolerate feminism and all like that. I left her because I will not tolerate war. I will not be less of a man when I'm the only one in this family kissing butt. I will not be less of a man. I will not be treated less a man when I kiss your butt every day and let you talk to me in front of people like I'm nobody and all like that. And then you want to tell me who's who? Well, I was already who I am before you ever met me. And it proved itself when we split up who was who. Everybody knows now who was who. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Everybody knows the truth. And the kids, my kids, can try to deny it, but everybody else knows the truth. When I see them on the street, they once hated me because they felt that it was all my fault. But now they know. Now they know. And they've been known. They knew so many months after the divorce was final, maybe a year or 2 after the divorce was final. They knew who's who and who must have lied and who must have been telling the truth. And we'll just leave that with God because I'm not going to sit here and put her down. But being I'm talking about cheating, I had to mention that. Cheating, I think the first reason a woman cheats on a man is when she doesn't feel like a girlfriend. See, every woman wants both. She wants you to be a husband and she wants to be a wife when it's convenient for her. But the rest of the time, she wants to be a girlfriend. When it comes to telling you about your money and telling you where we're going to live and you know, all the things that she feels that she shouldn't have to do for you, that she could do for you, but she don't want to do for you. If she wants to be lazy about your relationship in any way, she should be able to come to you and tell you, I want to be lazy. And you should just go along with it if she wants to, you know. But when she was your girlfriend, she would do anything to be with you. She was looking for you to be alone with her every day. And it doesn't matter whether it's your fault that she doesn't feel like a girlfriend anymore or whether it's her fault. Because you can't be a wife and a girlfriend at the same time. Now, you can, as one brother I know, he said he never stops dating his wife. His wife is his girlfriend till the day he dies, until the day she dies. Well, she died before he did, and it was heart wrenching to all of us. And we couldn't believe she died so young and so beautiful. But, um, you know, she was a good, prominent woman of God. And she became a good, better prominent woman of God. And that's how they met. And that's another thing. Like, marriage is something that you plan for. Like, if you plan to buy a house. Now, if you're the kind of person that just driving through the neighborhood, you got so much money, you said, oh, I'll take that one. I can always sell it if I don't like it. If I'm not content, I can always sell it and get another house. Or I can sell it and move somewhere else and get a house there wherever I'm at. This is good temporarily. But to other people, that house is the house of their dreams, the house of their life. How dare you just throw money at a house like that and buy it away from all these other people that want it? And now you are living in that house like, oh, look what I got. I got plenty of toys. It's not a toy, it's a dream house for anybody that would have the nerve, the audacity to spend that kind of money on a house. It's worth it, but it ain't worth it if you just buy it and you're like, oh, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to do all this damage to it inside and then I'm going to sell it. And they can do whatever they want to do with it. I don't care. That's kind of the way women get thrown around between men. There's men out there that just throw money and they throw sausage at women, thinking that that's all a woman needs. A woman needs, you know, the super dog, super beef steak brat, okay, super long dog. And she needs money. That's the way a lot of men think. They're hurt when they find out that the man that she's cheating on you with has a pencil pecker or he has a little weenie deenie. Okay, when he finds that information out, when he finds out that the man that she's cheating on you with is way older than both of y'all or way younger, does he even know what he's doing? Is this his first sexual experience? So you're learning about your woman that, first of all, at one point, she don't need all your experience. Your body count doesn't help her. How well you are in bed is not helping your relationship with your woman. Then she's also learning, you're also learning that you thought that was about your sex appeal. It's not. But why would she give your pleasure cave, the best thing that God could ever give you? Why would she give that or make you share that with somebody else? Why would she? That's what you're doing. When a woman decides to stay with you while she's cheating on you, what she's doing is she's making you share with somebody else what belongs to you, especially if you're married. That's your prompt, your property, that's your gift from God. And women don't like to be defined like that, but read your Bible. She is your gift from God. She is your helpmate that was made for you, that was you discovered through the help of God for you. Okay? That's what the Bible says. Okay? How dare she give that to somebody else and say, oh, I don't mind sharing? Okay? Why would she share what you have, what you got, what you're giving her? Why would she share herself with somebody else? She would share herself with somebody else because she don't feel that you have bought her completely. So she doesn't want to sell herself to somebody totally. She's not ready to sell. See, if a woman's cheating on you, both of you guys are, sometimes it's her. She just needs to wake up and smell the coffee, hopefully. Hopefully. But sometimes you just ain't good enough for her. You never were good enough for her. Eventually, she's going to leave you, but she's cheating on you because you got that one thing right, and that is security. If a woman, it doesn't take much for a woman to feel secure. And see, if you were cheating on her, she probably wouldn't be cheating on you, because that's not security. Security means that a woman goes home and her husband is there because she demands that he be there. Her husband is not out with his buddies getting drunk, flirting with other women. Okay, that's security. Her husband is going to be home in time enough to answer the door if somebody try to break in your house. He's going to answer the phone. Okay, he's going to pay the bills. Okay, he's going to argue with the bill collectors for you. He's security. Most of us, without even trying, get that right. Because the minute we move into a house like a dog, we know how to protect what our own turf. It comes out of us. It's in our instincts. It's in our essence, our male being. That if we are intimate with a woman and we live in a house with a woman, we become protectors, like a dog who is fed and petted for a whole day, and now he's yours for life. He's your best friend for life because of what happened in one day. Okay? It's the same way with humans. Through intimacy. And this is why we don't practice fornication, because through intimacy, sex is the glue that ties two people together, whether they're right for each other or not. But see, there are all kinds of reasons why the woman will unglue herself to you. She will start putting the nail polish remover or the turpentine or whatever's needed to break that glue seal. And the way she breaks that glue seal is by cheating on you. That's the turpentine. That's the glue that is the glue repellent. Okay. Nail polish remover, whatever, that will remove that glue. Okay. So if a woman's cheating on you, it's either because you are good enough. For one thing you do right, and that might be security. Usually it's security. But you're wrong at everything else, or mostly everything else. But a woman wants to always feel like your girlfriend more than your wife. That's why jocks tend to hold on to young girls, okay, and blow their minds. The whole idea of you giving a girl everything you got without putting a ring on her finger and making her feel like she has to pick you before you can propose to her. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and you recognize her as your girlfriend, and y'all been talking about the future, y'all been talking about marriage, y'all been telling each other that y'all in love, then why do you have to feel afraid to propose to her or feel that the time is not right? A lot of women are being proposed to by a man that is very much the eye of security in their collection. And from as far as they can tell, he is the security. But when a man allows his friends to just walk in his house without knocking, when a man, walks away from his wife and leaves his wife to be hit on around a bunch of men because he's way clear across the room talking to his boys or his mama or his sister or his daddy and leaving her by herself, then he wants to come over there and get in a fight with a dude because dude getting all smooth and buttery with his woman. Well, your woman comes first, especially if you're married. Mom and dad don't come first. I hate to bust your bubble. Mom and dad do not come first. If you marry a woman, you done went from the house to the kingdom. Mom and dad have to have access to mess with this union. Mom and dad have to have access to come into your home. Your brothers and sisters have to have access to come into your home. They don't just come in there because they flesh and blood. Read your Bible. They don't come in there because they flesh and blood. They got to pay your wife the respect. Now, when you let your father and your brother walk up into your house without knocking, or knock when your wife has already told you these are not the days, what you are going to display in front of her is lack of security. But most men don't have this problem. Most men, like myself, the minute I'm with a woman, especially when it comes to the place where I'm taking care of her, I don't play with people knocking on. I don't let her answer the door. I don't let her answer the phone. I don't let her, I don't let no man in my house while I'm not going. You better go back to your car and wait outside till I get there, bro. You're not going to be in the house alone with my wife. And I remember one time I put my ex-wife in an uncomfortable position because my car broke down and I couldn't get to work. And so a friend of mine, claimed he was a Christian, was letting me borrow his car. And him and his son were hanging out in my house because I'm out there using their car. They're hanging out in my house like gangsters. What I should have did was told them, I will bring your car to your house and then you can drive me home. But they didn't want to do that. And I found out that the dude that was letting me use his car was somewhat attracted to my wife. I forgot that he has a thing for black women, and he didn't get over his ex-wife who looked a lot like my wife. And I walked in my house one day, and he looked good standing next to my wife with my little short behind. He looked good standing next to my wife, reaching plates for her and all that stuff. And I felt defiled. I felt let down. I felt like I put my wife in a situation that she shouldn't have had to go through. And if I had to do it again, and maybe I will, there will be no men in my house whatsoever when I'm not home. Her father, her brother, it depends on what their behavior is like. Yeah. But I don't believe in brothers that think that they can smack their sisters on the butt like they did when they were teeny boppers. You smack my wife on your butt, I'm gonna slap you in the face. Like we did when we was in high school and we in middle school. I'm gonna slap you in the face like a dude that broke in my house and slapped my wife on the butt. Just because you're her brother, don't mean you get to do things that are sexy or sensual with my wife. She's my wife first, your sister second. And I've seen men, you know, come over their sister's house and walk around her house naked, and her husband's like, dude, put some clothes on. You ain't a child no more. I've seen dudes, you know, I've seen women get in cars with their younger brothers or older brothers and sit on their lap. Those days are over. Your brother need to go out and get himself a girlfriend, get himself a wife, and let her sit on his lap. There is nothing physical or anything that makes my wife feel beautiful that another man gets to come within 20 feet near, except me. If a woman needs other men, I don't care if it's her brother or her father, to make her feel beautiful when you're in the picture, either she is hard to please, she's never satisfied, or there's something you're doing wrong. Nobody needs to come around my wife and remind my wife how beautiful she is, how nice of a butt she got. And I've seen men do this with their sisters and their stepmoms and you name it. Okay? You wonder how the stuff gets into porn. It's because it goes on day in and day out. Okay? And it's wrong. And I know a lot of women will make excuses. Well, if you making excuses, maybe you like when your brother smacks you on the butt. Well, let me in on a secret. Do you get wet when your brother smacks you on the butt? You don't feel defiled in some kind of way? When your dad, when you're a grown woman and you sitting on your dad's lap like you 5 and you 30. In a way that doesn't bother me, but I'm gonna let it bother me because it's wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. I know a woman who her son still walks around in his underwear. He's a grown man. He walks around in his underwear in front of his sister, his younger sister, and his mama. Now, when that younger sister gets married, which I think as of right now, she finally got married. If that don't bother him, now where does that fit in what I'm talking about? Well, that fits in with women knowing where to want to be a girlfriend and where not to be. Okay. But a man has to let his wife know that you'll always be his girlfriend. He will always be enraptured and attracted and wanting to touch her and wanting to talk to her and wanting to romanticize her and wanting to take her places, wanting to get her all dressed up and take her out and take her places. You never let that get old. So that's the first reason a woman will cheat on a man. When she gets to that place to where she's only a wife and her girlfriend days are over too soon, she might cheat on you with Mandingo to get it back. Okay? She might go over her brother's house and let her brother slap her butt a few times to get that feeling back again. She may even do crazy stuff like put a wedge between her little brother and his girlfriend to get that feeling back again. Now, the truth of the matter is a wife is a wife. She's not a girlfriend. There's a fine line between a wife and a girlfriend. But what I'm saying is your wife has to feel like she will always be your girlfriend naturally. And that's how you got married, because you married your girlfriend. If you see what I'm saying, you marry your girlfriend. Now, some women are so mature, like women in other countries. They're so mature. They'll marry an American man and they'll tell that American man, I want to be wife and I want to be married to a Christian husband. And so they come home. They don't need that girlfriend garbage. Some women don't need it. She comes home. She wants to cook and clean and beat you at all this stuff. That's how she feels like a woman, by cooking and cleaning and doing all this stuff, you know. But when you were girlfriends with an American girl, when you were playing boyfriend and girlfriend, she cooked and cleaned, but it was always to impress you, not because it was her job. She cooked and cleaned in all dueness of being a woman, but she didn't do it because it was her job. She did it because she felt it turned you on. I knew that my marriage was going downhill when my wife felt that cooking for me, and she didn't even do it every day, she only did it twice a week, that cooking for me was a job. And she started making my stepdaughter do all the cooking because my stepdaughter needed to learn. That's fine. But I can't sleep with my stepdaughter. If my stepdaughter mac and cheese, okay, tastes so good, it just turns, drives me nuts. I'm not going to put my hand somewhere. I'm not going to start feeling on my stepdaughter. I'm not going to say, come here, sugar, and sit on my lap, and let's share a bowl of this mac and cheese together. Women do not understand that the things that they do is all part of their sexual relationship with a man. Cooking, cleaning, not cleaning merely, but teaching us how to clean, showing us how it's done. And when I was married, I was turned on by the fact that my wife would take something that take me 20 minutes to do. She turned it into a 4-hour job. She done pulled the refrigerator out from the wall. She done defrosted the refrigerator and wiped all that stuff out of there. She done went and burned all this garbage. She done went around the house and put all this stuff away, went in the closets, and I'm thinking, when she sits down after all that, she deserves a back rub. She deserves some loving. I'm gonna make her. I'm gonna thank her, and I'm gonna give her, a wonderful cup of tea. The tea, her favorite tea, and all like that. I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna make her feel good, and part of that is I'm going to show her booty some love. Okay. After all that, that's the way we men are. We don't want women cleaning and cooking because we want women to work for us because we can't do it ourselves. We want women cooking and cleaning because to us that is feminine. Just like women want men to drive the car, answer the door, answer the phone, girlfriend. Okay, you want us to go out and take you places and buy you things and pay the bills. Why? Because that makes you look at us as masculine. Because that is what masculine men do. Now, again, the first thing a woman will do, the first thing that bothers a woman about you that makes her cheat is she, whether it be something that she needs to get rid of because she wants it too much, or something that she feels that way because you start making marriage a job for her instead of a pleasure. Marriage, it's a privilege. I wouldn't say a pleasure, but a privilege to be married because you have everything you need and you also have the legal rights to sex and great sex that comes from having sex with the same person over and over to learning that person. And because you're married, you every time you have sex, you consummate that relationship and you celebrate that love. And you don't only celebrate that love, but you celebrate marriage. People that are not right for each other or people that practice fornication with each other, they're not celebrating love and they're not consummating a relationship. They're consummating foolishness with foolishness. They're consummating soul ties together that cause you to act up just like me. Like I try to stop cussing, but ever since I left my ex, I have not been able to control my cussing. I've controlled it better over the years, but she cussed so much every single day after work. On her best day, she cussed like a sailor. And now I cuss. When she met me, starting off in our marriage, even when she would make me so mad I would leave the house, I didn't cuss. You can ask my kids. I didn't cuss. It wasn't until like after we had been married like 5 years or more that I started calling her the B word. Every time she picked a fight with me, called me names, I says, well, you a B. And you act like a B. You need to take, you need to take your B behind, and maybe you need to pack your stuff and get out, And I started talking to her like she talked to me. I always wanted her to leave and get out. But, did she feel like my girlfriend? In my opinion, too much. See, we were pressured to get married when I was going to leave. Because, I felt like I'm a Christian, she's not. I made this mistake. I laid down with this woman whose common law boyfriend lives next door. Okay, I done made my mistake with this woman. The party's over, but she decided to move in with me. She went over there. She even went over there and told him she was cheating. And cheating with who? And I said, oh, okay. She moved in with me. And her goal was her whole goal was to get away from him. And I got to pat myself on the back about a little bit because she wasn't going to get away from him with just anybody. It had to be somebody that was like me. Okay. She wasn't just going to do that with anybody. And she told me all the guys that she had turned down. And then when somebody tried to fix me up with her, she broke her neck trying to make it happen. And she ended up getting drunk. And I thought that, oh, you know what? Maybe she won't even remember what happened. Nope, she came back the next morning and boom, walked right in. She went home, took a shower, and came back first thing in the morning for more. You know. Then she came back and didn't want to leave. Okay. She felt like my girlfriend. Because why? At that time, I was only a penis. I was the penis that was to replace her boyfriend's penis. Okay. I was living on his property in one of his trailers. And if I didn't behave myself, they both could get together and tell me to leave. Okay. He even came over there while we were together trying to make sure I respected her and his kids. Okay. And he was looking for a way to accuse me. But he realized before she did that you done got yourself a holy man. You done caught yourself a fish, a big one. You done caught yourself the expensive fish. And I'm not trying to brag, but my worth came from here because I followed everything in here to the T, except that. I got tired of being sexless. I got tired of watching other people come to church, okay, with a wet whistle, okay, and still praise God and didn't have any conviction about it. I know you out there, banging your neighbors. I know you out there, I know you out there doing your thing. Again, though, not to get off of it. A woman needs to always feel like she's never going to stop being your girlfriend, even though marriage is what it's all about. Part of that marriage is the fact that your wife is also your girlfriend. You marry your best friend, and you should be able to talk about anything to your friends. You should even be able to talk about each other's attraction to other members of the opposite sex. If you was ever gay or you ever had a tranny or whatever, you should be able to talk about all that. You should be able to talk about anything with your wife, as well as now the other flip side of being a girlfriend is that when you had a girlfriend, she had her own place until she decided to move in. She chose to move in with you. She chose to put up with you. But then what happens when you get married and you're living together and you're the man of your house, she begins to feel like she's losing her choices. It's all about you. If a woman thinks it's all about you, she will cheat on you. When a woman thinks it's all about you, she'll cheat on you. And when a woman thinks it's all about her, she'll leave you worrying about whether she's cheating on you. You'll be running around accusing her, but she's saving the best for last. In other words, she's saving cheating for to put, for that fire button for when you really get on her last nerve. And she really don't even want to share a bed with you anymore, then she may cheat. There's different areas and avenues of cheating. The second reason why a woman might cheat on a man is because, and all this goes back to number one. Number one has different categories. But the other reason why a woman might cheat on you is because she feels that you don't appreciate her anymore the way you once did. Because this is what women think. Like when a man marries a woman, he starts to get really serious about how his woman's behavior and the way she acts and all like that. That's going to start to bother him. And so when you start to tell your woman what's wrong, she starts to feel like less of a girlfriend. And therefore, she starts to feel like you're not attracted to her like you used to be. Because when you first met, you would do anything. And this all this comes from practicing fornication. When you first met, you would do anything to get naked with her. You would break any rule that you had up here or you had in your intellect. You would break any rule so that you could make sure that y'all spent the night together tonight. Y'all had a great time tonight. You didn't want to be like, oh, I don't care. I slam my foot down on the ground. This is what I mean. And I don't care if she puts me in the doghouse because she's not my wife. I don't care. These are my rules. But see, if you had done all that in the beginning without the fornication, your wife is less likely to cheat on you because she knows when she marries you, this is what she's getting into. When a man marries a woman before he ever has any intimate contact with her, before he ever sees what's down there, he ever touches what's down there or penetrates it or anything, fondles it or anything, he marries this woman. This woman has a better chance at understanding up front what's going on. She can choose that, oh, well, I don't feel like a girlfriend. This guy's trying to buy me and run off with me. He's trying to steal me. He's trying to snatch me away from my family. He's trying to snatch me away from my friends. No. But a lot of women will think about the cost and think about how old they are and think about all the other things that they've been through. And they will say, I want to be snatched from my friends. I want to get out of my family's way and stop bugging them for everything. I want a man in my life that's going to take control and he's going to be my companion as well as my security. I want a man in my life that's going to lead me and guide me and make me feel like I'm secure all the way around in all four corners of my life. I want a man like that. I'll take that. A woman like that is less likely to cheat. Now, the third reason a woman will cheat on a man is her own personal crisis. Again, this is part of the girlfriend issue where your wife is not your girlfriend, but she needs to feel that way. Okay. And you need to constantly do the same thing for her that you did when she was your girlfriend. You need to learn how to give her some space sometimes. You need to learn to let her have a little bit of authority in her life. As long as that authority doesn't wreck your marriage or wreck your bank account, it's okay to let her have an authority. You can let her have friends a little bit. You can let her, you let her have friends. You got to make rules about her and her friends. If you let people in your house, everybody can't come to your house. Everybody doesn't need to know where you live. Okay? But it's okay to give her a little bit of freedom so that she doesn't feel smothered by you. A little bit. But she only needs a little bit because she is your wife, and she has to be taught to help you protect your marriage. Because in 2024, if your wife don't know how to treat you, if she don't know how to conduct herself in public with you, and when she's away from you, other men are already got their zipper opens, they're going to take your wife. That's 2024 for you. Nobody cares about that ring on her finger anymore because they know, even some of the nicest guys know that most women will cheat. If they can say hello, they can also cheat. Not that, oh, just because she said hello means that she's a cheater. But if she can say hello, she can cheat. And that's always been the case. It's just that we do it more today than we did back in the 80s. Okay? Now, again, that other thing, number 3, is that your wife is going through her own personal crisis. For a lot of older women, this could be midlife crisis or menopause. Okay? I believe in women going through midlife crisis too, or they just call it menopause. But women go through the crisis where, and sometimes there's nothing you can do. Like there's a lot of old men constantly rubbing their pecker up against their old wives, constantly naked. They can't, they walk around their house with no clothes on. And she's not getting the message. Your husband is sexually crazy about you at 50, 60 years old. Just touch it. Just get naked and lay down with him or something. But if she can't do that, it doesn't mean things are wrong with you, bro. It's just that you aren't the kind of guy that makes her feel like she still got it. She needs a younger man to make her feel that she got her, or she needs, she needs a 007, to make her feel that way. Okay. She needs, Morgan Freeman or old Denzel Washington or somebody to make her feel that she still got it. It's not always about younger men and their little stiff heart. You know what I mean? Sometimes she doesn't want all that. Sometimes she wants just something different than you because she's used to you and she done forgot just how much in love and attracted to you she was that made her say yes to marriage. She forgot. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means that you, when she's going through this crisis, you're not the doctor. You, with your zipper open, ain't the doctor. She needs a doctor. She needs a therapist. She needs help. She's going through a crisis as she gets older. And sometimes this crisis can start at 30 years old when you spent all your life as a 20-year-old, 20 to 30, that is, teasing men and showing your cleavage and having men follow you around. You got one girl hanging out with 7 men. And when them days start to die off and she finally finds a man that's willing to settle down with her and love her better than any of these 7 men ever could, because she wasn't going to give them all that chance anyway. She had them all up on the shelf. She picked you. Thank God. But then she goes through this crisis, and sometimes it starts at 30. I know a woman right now who's a YouTuber. She's having this crisis at 30. Every YouTube video is about her flat chest and about what men want in bed and what a Filipino wants in bed and blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking, girl, and she got a boyfriend. And I don't know if she's sleeping with him or not, or she's trying to be religious in some kind of way and wait till marriage. If you're not a Christian, it don't matter. Well, then again, it does. But if you're not a Christian, you don't have the right interpretation. Okay? A lot of times you don't have the right interpretation. She doesn't have the right interpretation, I should say. Okay? So, the point is, and that would bring us to number 4. Thank you, brother, whoever you are. I'm going to make that number 4. Now, I could turn this into 10, but it don't take all that. Here's number 4. Why a woman might cheat on you. A man buys his wife. If you let your wife lie to you about what kind of woman she really wants to be, if she wants to be that kind of woman that gets dressed every day and looks like, I don't know, Beyonce, Halle Berry on her most precious day in Hollywood, okay? Just figure of speech there. If she wants to look like an actress, she wants to look like high maintenance, and you can't provide that, or you don't care about those kind of things. Now, she should have let you know before she agreed to say yes to marriage. She should have let you know that, hey, I'm not ready to settle down yet because I don't think I would make a good wife for you because I'm a little bit too high maintenance for that. You know, you know, I'm not trying to be all in the money and all like that, but I don't want to bore you or hold you up or be insubmissive to you or anything because I love to dress up. I love to show a little bit of cleavage. I love to spend a lot of money on my hair. I love having fake boobs and blah blah blah. You know, that's just me. I'm just being me, and you think you love what you see, but I spend 3 hours a day every morning getting up, and I mean, she needs to have a talk with you about that. Okay. Now I could add more, but I'm stopping at number 4. I think number 4 is a deal breaker. Okay. I don't know where I said that a man doesn't pay attention to what type of woman he is dating. Did I not just say right here that we need to talk about these things? Did I not say that? And if he had been here earlier, he would have said, he would have noticed that I said that a man and a woman have to talk about these things. You don't just marry a woman based on how you feel when y'all see each other and you got some chemistry going and all like that. You have a right to make rules for your relationship, just like she has a right to make rules for your relationship. And if those rules don't agree, number 5, I said this in a video I did a few days ago. Number 5 should be number 1. Two cannot walk together except they agree. Okay. So when we get married, thank you, brother. Since you brought this up, I'll re-speak it. I already done it in another video, but I'll do it here again so you understand. Two cannot walk together except they agree, the Bible says. Please understand that this is a Christian channel. If you have secular views about what this is all about, maybe you should take them up with the Breakfast Club, or maybe you should take these up with Shay Shay or Kevin Hart or something. Okay. This is a Christian channel. All my channels are Christian. Okay. Now, two can only walk together except they agree. And so, actually, that should be number 1. But if you allow yourself to marry someone and you're not completely in agreement with them, and a lot of times women will do this because they think they'll change you. And why should you change a man if he's a good man? Just because he doesn't support feminism, that's not a reason to change him. Now, if he's not willing to do more than just be, like this brother said, if he's not willing to be more than broke, and I agree with him. If he's not willing to be more than, working a rinky-dink job and you got to go out there and work to help him make ends meet so that y'all can go somewhere sometimes, so that y'all can go out sometimes. Oh yeah, let me tell you, that is like almost that always pops up when me and my ex used to argue about it all the time. She would tell me, don't go get a second job. And I say, well, wait, you gonna go get a job? Well, yeah, I'm thinking about it. She never went and got a second job. She never went out and got a job. She said, because like we met on a job. We were both working because her and her boyfriend did not have enough money for her and her two kids. Then she gets together with me. And she said that when my first daughter was born, after we got married, that she would go back to work after my daughter was born, after she became 1 year old or whatever. You know, we would pay for child care and that, and she would go back to work. Good point, my brother. Okay. I offered to work a second job. She didn't want me to. We fought like crazy. We even went to marriage counseling, and the counselor told us, you should let D-Roy go get a second job and not argue with him about this. But I didn't go get a second. I didn't worry about going to get a second job until I had packed my bags and moved out, because I had enough. When I told her things are going to change around here, I'm going to be the man of my house, like the Bible says. I'm going to be the king of my castle. This stuff about us arguing and fighting to no avail and nothing's changing. Just you being fickle about what you want. Okay. I'm going to do what I feel the Lord wants. And I'm going to take care of my family. Okay. Even if I have to work a job and a half or two jobs until we get to that point where I can work one good job and not worry about it. Okay. And she would never agree to that because there were some government benefits in there. And if she was treating my son's SSI as her own money, when we all know that if you get money for your children, sure, what's he going to do with all that money? Well, at least spend that money on the kids and stop there. Spend that money on his medication and get him out of the way first. And anything that's left over, yeah, help the other kids out. But don't act like, oh, I'm going to put all $500 of his money in the bank. It's my money. But then when you want to spend it, you get mad at me because no. I didn't ask you to spend your money. Actually, it is not my money. It's not either one of our money. It's his. And even though he don't need it because we take care of him, everything's paid for. But his medicine ain't cheap, so you definitely gonna get his medicine. But that money could be going in the bank for the other kids to make sure they have the school clothes and everything that they need to make sure he has everything he needs, including school clothes and all like that. Okay. So yes, that is important too. Is that if you only care about broke, and I know a lot of men who they don't realize that the reason why they don't get along with their woman is because number one, they work the same broke job as their woman. They're so working the same broke job so bad, they're working it with their woman. They're making the same money, sharing the same car to go home. And sometimes men do this because they don't trust their women. Sometimes women do this because they don't trust their men. And they fight every day. I didn't even know this was going on. And they fighting. And everybody's talking about it. And nobody's going to get married after watching them two go at it. Okay. Because people don't feel that if they're broke, they can do better. But, you know, I know that women are bought and kept, not caught. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like once you shoot that gun out there and grab that deer, okay, that doesn't mean you know how to make good venison. That doesn't mean you know how to make good steaks and hamburgers and jerky and all like that. I've had some of the worst jerky and bologna and you name it, steaks, you name it. But I've also met people that really know how to hunt and they don't waste a single drop of what they hunted. Everything gets used, everything that's eatable is eatable, and everything is processed to be a blessing to somebody else. Okay. It's the same way with your marriage. Your marriage is to be an example and a light to other people. It's to show other people how to um, get married and be happy. Okay. And I have a. He's just repeating himself as her to marry. Discernment about the women. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. If a woman is bought and kept, then the responsibility for buying a good woman and keeping her all falls on the man. Most of it does. But the woman has to be viable. She can't be Walmart, okay, brand. Okay, I'm talking dumb now because you're talking dumb. She can't be Walmart brand, okay, and expect, you know, six figures, you know, or expect, you know, Donald Trump money. Okay. Women have to, and it's not about cleavage and all this makeup and eyelashes and hair and nails and pedicures and you know the whole 3 hour thing. If you're spending 3 hours every day just on yourself, you need to marry a very rich man, and you need to marry a man that is very, very, I don't know, pornographic. He's more concerned about what you look like and what you look like for him in public than he cares about who you are. Okay. Dude, I don't know who you are or whatever, but you're only repeating what I'm saying. And you're not like letting me finish. You're just, you know, but I'm glad you came. Glad you came. I hope you subscribe. I hope you leave a dislike, a like, or whatever, because it all will help my channel. Okay. Because this is not even this channel. I'm not even paying for this channel. I'm not going to pay it unless I start making, unless I decide to monetize it. But I'm glad I picked this channel to have this discussion because you people that aren't saved, that don't know the Lord, y'all struggle with this. We Christians, we don't struggle with this. And I've had my share of divorce, and I have repented of my sins, repented of my fornications. I have practiced secondary virginity, and, you know, I'm keeping myself pure. And, you know, I don't know why this guy keeps at the beginning of every sentence call me broke ass stepdad. Okay. First of all, I'm not broke. Okay. Number one, I'm not broke. Okay, I have a very nice job. I could make more, but my job is decent. Number two, my stepkids are grown. I'm 57 years old, bro. Okay, my stepkids are grown. The only thing I can do for them is they can write me out a check. My stepson got 3 jobs. Okay, and him and his wife fight about that. I told him, I says, all the skill you got your CL license and all like that. Why don't you just work one job? You got 2 kids and a wife. You know what I mean? Why don't you like work one job, pay your house off, okay, and live in stability, man. Why are you like bouncing between 3 jobs? You think you need all that money, you don't. And your wife is mad at you because you're never home. And I see some things happening there. I'm not going to talk about them on social media, but y'all need to get that stuff together because I see it crumbling at the seam. I see that. And I don't have an opinion about women, brother. My opinion on women is that God made everything first before he made Eve. And maybe you heard me say this in another video. If you didn't, then you should like go stick your head in the toilet because you don't know what you're talking about. And now, if you are coming at me for being a Christian, I honor you for that. I accept that. But if you're coming at me because you just your first time coming on my channel and you really don't know me, I suggest you go look at my other videos and learn about me. God created everything for Eve before Eve was ever even created. All she had to do was be a helpmate to Adam. Okay? You got women on YouTube that ain't Christian, that are atheists, that are finally coming up with this understanding that look where we would be without men, because us women sure ain't going to go out there and do it. So let the men do what they've been doing since Adam and Eve, and that is keeping the garden, keeping life, so that the woman ain't got to do nothing but, hey, sweetheart, hand me them paper towels, sweetheart. Thank you. Hand me them paper towels and oh, you going, oh yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee. Thank you. That's all a woman has to do. It was never God's intention for women to be out there climbing poles, climbing in ditches, okay, out in the cold, working the traffic. Okay, it was never God's intention for women to join the military, become police officers, none of that stuff. It was God's intention for women to get the jobs that men don't do because men think they're too masculine to do them. And that's okay, because that's less for her to do. A woman works hard enough. If a woman gets married and has children, that no man has ever been pregnant, and no man has ever suffered what happens after he's had a child. Okay? So, when women have children, my wife had my daughter Rachel, and she was still working. And we all try to say, Leslie, like, go home. Like, your husband, you're on medical leave, you're getting paid for it, you don't need to do that plus work. Go home. And she didn't go home until she was like 4 weeks, until she was like her last 4 weeks of pregnancy. She didn't go home. Her belly was going all the way across the factory to that child, and she would not go home, but she was causing a lot of havoc because now we got a hospital patient, trying to work in all these chemicals and do all this lifting and cutting and splicing and all this kind of stuff. And where are you at? Sometimes people, well, that's what you said. You said broke ass stepdad. That's what you said, bro. Every sentence starts off with broke ass stepdad. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how am I, I don't know what you call broke. Some guys call broke, if you're making anything less than six figures, to them that's broke. If you ain't driving a Lamborghini, you're broke. If your woman don't look like, Beyonce, you're broke. If you got to go to work every day and be told what hours you work, you're broke. I mean, some people, they call everything but filthy, dirty money broke. I guess he want, I work for my money. I'm sorry if that means I'm broke because I have to show up every day and work a shift 5 days a week that I don't want to work because it ain't the one I picked. I'm sorry if you think that's broke, but this is Pittsburgh. If I'm broke, we're all broke, because all of us got to go through that. Okay? This guy don't even know how to type. God forbid a woman to want to have her own identity that has nothing to do with her husband. A woman has her own identity. Her own identity is right here. And she can try to have some other identity. But the identity was always, again, Everything was done, and then God created Eve. And Eve woke up and didn't have to do squat, but follow Adam around the garden and see whatever she could do to help out. And that's what women are here for. When they begin to have children, that is when the real work begins, because nobody can bring life into the world but a woman. And a woman, all you abortionists need to understand that. Only you can bring a man or a woman into the world. God created us from dust. Yes, he did indeed. But only a woman can bring life into the world. And so no job on the planet can tackle that. No job on the, you're bringing human beings into the world. There is no masculine job or feminine job that can compare to that. And guess what? It's free between you and your husband while y'all making love. And it ain't got nothing to do with a man impregnating you other than you wanting to be pregnant. Y'all act like because Christians don't believe in abortion that they just lay on their back and let men keep getting their pregnant. No. Men and women that are married decide how many children they want to have. And when they're done having children, did I say pregnant? Men and women that are Christians and they're married. That's what I meant to say if I didn't say that. Once they decide how many children they want and they have those children, then she gets her tubes tied. Okay? Duh. Okay? But a woman is a life giver. She brings human beings. Without women, we're dead. If all the women were to die today and just leave us men here, us men would live to be a certain age and then we would just die. And that would be the end of the world. We cannot live without women. Women have to have children in order for life to keep going on. But what are we taught today? We're taught that women should have sex and forget about children. Women should have sex and cheat, and women should have sex and have OnlyFans, and women should have sex and, and they should have sex with the man that was going to be a good husband and not a broke ass stepdad like me, and then cheat on him with a broke ass stepdad like me. And then go back and say, where are you going? You got bills to pay. Because I'm not going to pay them with my broke ass, as this man keeps calling me. Okay? Or woman, whatever, whoever this person is. Praise God. But hey, I got some action. Nobody showed up. Okay, we got D all the way down, trying to have a conversation that's no conversation at all. Broke ass stepdad, that is my name. Oh, you're talking about yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was calling me a broke ass stepdad. I'm sorry. My apologies, man. I thought you just kept on. That's just like there's this guy on Facebook, and I'm talking about something spiritual, and his name is D's Nuts. And so I'm doing a Facebook channel, and D's Nuts shows up, and I read D's Nuts have something to say. And I'm thinking, dude, that's rude. Like, you gonna say your nuts got something to say? This is a Christian channel, man. And then when I went, I had to apologize after the cast was over because it's like his channel name is actually D's Nuts. I'm thinking, dude, you need to get a better channel than that. You know what I'm saying? You need to get a better channel than that. Okay, so I know now, why would you call yourself a broke ass stepdad? Um, that'll be your last answer for today. I like to know that. Well, why do you think you're a broke ass stepdad? And if you're a broke ass stepdad, why are you trying to stay a broke ass stepdad? Again, my kids are grown. You know, if my stepson come around me, he'll offer me some money a lot of times when I tell him I'm trying to do this or do that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. That money go to your wife so you can stop working all these goddamn jobs and just settle down with one. Instead of giving me money, you need to give that money to your wife. I'm fine. I'm taking care of myself just fine. Get that money to your wife so you can stop working all these crazy jobs. How you going to give me money and you got to work 3 jobs? See, that don't make sense either. That's just as bad as being broke. You shouldn't have to work 3 jobs, okay? But praise be the Lord. Um, this was fun, and thanks to broke ass stepdad, he got me talking about some things. See how that works? He got me talking about some things that that I had forgot, and thanks to him, I remembered that I wanted to mention those things. Okay, but again, if you're going to get married, you will marry someone that not only, like a lot of these foreign women that are like overseas and that. I'm totally against the Philippine age gap. I think it's a fraud. I'm sorry, that's just me. I'm not going to the Philippines and trust the first Filipina that comes running up to me saying, I'm 30 years old and I just love old men with their belly sticking out and their bald gray head and okay, no, not, no, I need my woman to be attracted to me, not to make me believe that she's attracted to me and she's never home like these Filipinas are doing. Nobody's talking about it. Okay. I need her to be attracted to me and be in the video with me when I'm talking about this stuff. I need her to be attracted to me. Okay. Like I just said in the last video, and be all up on me and hugging on me and stuff in the video like they do them white guys. Like they do them tall, old white guys. Okay. I'd rather be, I'd rather go for plan B than to be with an Asian woman that on my deathbed I'm end up divorcing her before I can die a good death. I'm gonna find out she's been cheating. I'm gonna find out she's only with me for my money. I'm gonna find out she's only with me because of the culture of the Philippines and the status and all like that and what I've done for her. But I don't have to worry about it too much because most of these women want a man that is going to become a Filipino. He's going to desert. I don't get that. Like, if you love Americans so much, why would you want them to throw away their country? Why would you want them to throw their country under the bus for you? This was fun, but have things that really matter to do. Have a great day. Thank you, brother. Why would she want me to throw my American heritage under the bus to make sure she got what she needs and so that she has status in the Philippines? I'll never understand that. It's not like America doesn't have double what they got in the Philippines. It's not like she's going from a third world country to a more third world country. Okay. But I'll never understand that. But my woman is going to love me and she's going to be attracted to me. And sure, I mean, at my age, there's always going to be some taller, handsome dude that's more attractive. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing he or she can do about that. Okay. I mean, when I was married, there were girls that were my height that were interesting. Okay. When I was married, there were white women, there were Asian women, there were women that wanted to talk to me and I wanted to talk to them back. And I had to tell them, back up, you hold me up. I got to get home to my wife. I don't want her thinking the wrong thing, But hey, I know. I've been there. I've been tempted to cheat. And I always squashed it immediately. Like, The minute a girl said, hey, why don't you come outside? My wife ain't home. Why my wife let this woman in the house anyway? I think she's trying to test me. Like, why she let this woman in my house anyway when she ain't home yet? I says, no, I'm staying here, but my stepdaughter will come out and entertain you. Even the gay girl, she got a vagina, okay? She wasn't coming in my house. She said, hey, can I come in and use your phone? I says, no, I don't think that's appropriate. She says, but I'm gay. I says, you're still a woman. Me and my wife don't allow other men or women. When I'm not home, no men. When she's not home, no women. But yet she broke that rule. And she couldn't wait to try to squeeze that in there as one of her ways of getting mad at me about something. But it was her choice. I told her, I'm not comfortable with your friend being here for a whole hour before we start rehearsal. I'm not comfortable with this dude being in my house just because he's let me borrow his car. I could take his car to him. He ain't got to be hanging out in my house. Yeah, he lives a little bit further away. We want to burn some gas, but hey, I'll pay for the gas. I'd rather do that than you be in the house with my wife and then, and I think he really was trying to test me to see if he could start something because he was just gangster like that. When it came to his involvement with black people, he was just gangster like that. Black man chasing all these black women. He think he can just go anywhere and do better than a black man. It depends on what that black man is packing, bro. It depends on what that black man got going for himself. And from what I understand from you and what's going on in your marriage, okay, other than my car breaking down and me having to borrow your car, I got you beat all the way around. So knock that crap off, okay? Knock that crap off. But today's my day off, and I was looking at YouTube videos last night, and this was bugging me, and so I decided to do this. Thank you all for coming. Nobody showed up but broke ass stepdad. We gonna try to help broke ass stepdad get unbroke, because why would you call yourself that? You know what I mean? If there's anything I can do, I can't write you out a check. I need somebody to write me out one. But if there's anything else I can do to help you stop being Mr. Broke ass stepdad, that'd be great. But until then, thank y'all for watching. Remember, never get bored with your wife. Always, if you feel yourself getting bored, rekindle the flame. Like me and broke ass stepdad, like he didn't hear me the first time. Let me say it again a third time. You and your wife should talk about everything. You should talk about your attractions for other people, other things together. You should be honest with that about each other. You should be honest about the two of you growing old and you're not young and tight and thick and buffy and all that good stuff anymore. Okay, you should talk about everything. And when you do that, you begin to build romance in a relationship that is old, but you can keep the romance alive by honesty. Honesty is the best policy. And when you start to hurt and when you start to feel like you want to cheat or you're tempted to cheat or you think your spouse is tempted to cheat or trying to cheat, sit down and talk. When you start to feel low on yourself and feel low self-esteem about yourself, when money is hard and you feel like you're going to lose her because you can't keep up, sit down and talk about it. Say, sweetheart, you love me, right? And you trust me, right? I need you to trust me. I'm trying my best. You understand that, right? Some women are so ignorant and nasty, they're saying, you're not trying your best, you just don't care. Okay. And this is what I was going to say in closing. This is 2024. Women cheating on men and leaving men is the norm. Like it's almost like there's not going to be any more 9 out of 10 or even 6 out of 10 that are able to have a prosperous marriage where nobody cheated and nobody got a divorce. There will be more divorces than there will be marriages. And a lot of people are content being fornicators and living in a fornicator's relationship because they know they're going to cheat, or they know they're going to be cheated on. And they know that they don't want to share everything. They don't want to be told what to do if that's what it feels like. They don't want to be smothered by their significant other. They want to be free, and they want to at one moment have you as their security, but at another moment they want to be able to use you and dispose of you. They want you to just be a penis sometimes and shut your mouth and just be a penis. Other times they want you to zip up your pants and quit thinking about sex so much and just be their security. Just be the one that's going to do all the talking and get them out of the situation. Or be the one that just shuts up and shows up. Shuts up and shows up so everybody can see she's not alone. Whatever she calls security. But the security is that God made Adam first and he made Eve last after everything was done and completed. All Eve had to do was just enjoy that security. All she had to do was follow Adam. And that is the joy of being a wife, a woman, is following her man and trusting that God has her man and her man has God. Beautiful message. I should be a book writer. I should be a preacher. I should be a motivational speaker. I should be making millions for packing owners. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Broke-ass Stepdad, as you call yourself. Have a great day. And the rest of you too. Thank all you that are watching. Thank you for coming. God bless.